folks, welcome to Plane of Traffic. Today's episode is coming from first time ever filming in the state of Texas, and today I'm in the town of Jasper, Texas, and this is a little different for me because today I'm paying my respects at the gravesite of one James Byrd Jr. And this is definitely not going to be one of them clickbait videos. I'm not going to get into many details, but James Byrd Jr. was involved in a absolutely horrendous hate crime back in 1998. I remember hearing about it and literally just like, it just blew my mind to the point that if I was ever in the area, I was stopping through, not to pay my respects at his grave, and that's what's going to happen. This one thing I will share with everybody. We're looking at Huff Creek Memorial Chapel, and it's been that for a long time. And it was at this location right here where James's body was left. I really don't even want to get into the details of it. The bottom line was he was murdered and his body was left here and found. So that was somewhere around the night of June 6th, 1998 into June 7th, the early morning hours of June 7th, 1998. But yeah, his body was left here, and this is Huff Creek Road right here. And yeah, this is the start of today's Playing in Traffic video. Huff Creek Memorial Chapel in Jasper, Texas. So I'm actually making my way through Jasper City Cemetery to visit James Byrd's gravesite. One thing that stands out right away, like walking through here, is that the only gravestone that has a fence around it is his. And that's because it's been desecrated at least 2 times. And now they put a fence around it. To my knowledge, like he was a he actually had a great rapport with people. Like, people liked him a lot. And maybe got in a little trouble. I don't, everything I'm really reading about is off of the internet, and I've been reading that for a long time. Even that run, when that incident happened, it was instantaneously national, probably international news. And so the murderers were white supremacists, 2 of them definitely, and they've been executed since. 2 have been executed, with the 3rd person that was involved getting life in prison. But I guess people still can't help themselves but to try to remind people of the hatred, and there's been a lot of hate crime laws passed because of that murder that happened. And but to you know, desecrate. It's all, you would think it would be enough already, but everyone has to make a statement, and it's you know, it's just a miserable existence. Now, I was raised different to really respect everybody, for that matter, and yeah, it's just pathetic that this has to be gated like this, but that's the reason why it is. Appreciate how my parents raised me. Okay, being adopted, they went through a lot. Let me just say that, you know, people go through a lot of things. We know that. Everyone's journey is, and I respect everyone's journey out there. I'm gonna tell you right now, I may not know you, but I know we all have a journey. My parents had a crazy journey. They lost their daughter. They, you know, adopted me, adopted my sister first, adopted me. You know, and one thing I liked the most about my parents is that when it, from a racial standpoint, they were not the ones. They would correct me. I remember, yeah, I'll be the first one, total transparency, when I was a little kid, and these black kids came up on my street, and of course, in my neighborhood, the only way anyone black was going to be that all the blacks were in the projects, and whites were in the neighborhood. Like, they were in the residential homes, and that's the way that whole dynamic was in that neighborhood. And then, but I remember one time, a couple black kids came up on the street, and it seemed like initiating fights and all. Like, and nobody that I remember, nobody was saying anything, but I remember running in the house, and because I knew I heard the kids on the street saying it, I ran in the house and saw my dad, and I go, "There's some N-words out here," and he goes, and he freaking corrected me on the spot. My dad was a letter carrier in Albany. He had friends, and my mom too. She worked at Sears. She had, and he had a mixture of friends, and it was not, that word was not to be used in the house. And I learned that at a young age, and I'm telling you, I was maybe 10 years old. I don't even know if I knew what the hell the freaking word went at that time. And so the way that, you know, it's always been just total respect. So to see any type of hate crime and civil rights type violations and stuff like that, to me, it's a big deal. I mean, my parents raised me that way, and my family, we are an interracial family. You know, so it is about, let's make the pilgrimage to see James Byrd's gravesite. It was close to a location, and it was within an hour. Absolutely going to go. I'm going to take everybody to one other spot, and let's go to that. This park is named after James Byrd Jr. You know, and it's interesting because, like, on any given day, you have black and white kids in here, right? Either playing basketball over here, right, or just hanging out in the playground. So there's definitely been a full circle. Like, one of the things I was reading, that this was built, I think, in 2008. 10 years after his death, and at the time, and I don't know how that looks now, but the majority of the city council was black, which helped change attitudes in this area. And interestingly, even though James Byrd's grave is surrounded in fence, there was a point, and this no longer exists. There was a point where the blacks and the whites in that cemetery were separated by a fence. Like, that's how that went. So they had the segregation in the cemetery itself. I think I've actually had other episodes where that was the case in other cemeteries as well, but it definitely wasn't there, and that no longer exists. Although they do have to, they had obviously had reason to put the fence around James's grave, and I already explained that. Yeah, this is about him. It's about he's an image for hate crimes, and also for people out there who just want to try to make sense of everything, in the sense that, like, this is just not the way people are going to live their lives. They're just not, with hate. They're just not. Enough will, but enough won't. I'm going to say enough, and unfortunately I can't even say most won't. I'm just going to say enough won't, and that's why we have this playground here in James's name, okay, and changes made in that cemetery. There's some changes. People just need to be better. We need to be better. I mean, come on. And one thing I'm proud about this episode is no details. No details about what happened. Everyone's welcome to look that up themselves. There's entirely too many documentaries about it, I think, in my opinion. One's too many. To create awareness, fine, but I think it's just morbid curiosity. When I heard it, when I had so many black friends, and at the time, and just going, oh my goodness gracious. But I'll tell you what, it was those friends that I had that straightened me up, okay? Even when I thought I had an open mind with a lot of things, there was a lot of things that I remember, friends of mine that are black that withheld stuff out of embarrassment when they were riding into my neighborhood, my white neighborhood, or white neighborhoods in Philadelphia. They didn't even want to bring it up. And I remember my one buddy being late for a party, and I was like, yo, man, what the heck's going on? And he's like, yeah, I got pulled over. And he goes, and then you start reading between the lines, and it was like, and what reason was that? So you learn, you know what I mean? And you can never be too old to learn, and never be too old to open your mind. So folks, thanks for watching this episode. Basically my pilgrimage to James Byrd Jr.'s gravesite. And it was a heck of an experience. And even when you question humanity so many ways, day in and day out, week in, week out, right? Even today, I'm going to put a picture up at the end of two guys that came and pulled me out of the mud. Just stick around for the photos at the end. I got caught on Huff Creek Road. Total user error, and got stuck in the mud. And you know what? Got out of there after a couple hours. It was a nice experience with these two gentlemen that got me out of there. And we just that actually felt good. You know what I mean? I actually was sitting in that area, kind of in my own head, for about 2 hours, which wasn't too far from the church that I showed you to open the show up. So yeah, okay, I'm going on and on enough. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next episode.